Days after the Supreme Court put a hold on the implementation of the 3 farm laws, farmer leaders will be coming together to hold talks with the central leadership. This is the 9th round of talks at Delhi's Vigyan Bhavan at noon in a bid to reach a breakthrough over the contentious farm laws. Farmers have maintained that they will not accept anything less than a repeal of the laws, whereas the centres made it clear that they would do so only if the Supreme Court deems the laws as unconstitutional and as illegal. So far, farmers have met with the centre 8 times. Only a little headway really has been achieved. The biggest bone of contention remains the demand of withdrawal of laws as well as the MSP guarantee. Now, the 9th round of talks comes in the backdrop of Bhupinder Man's decision to not take part as one of the experts in the Supreme Court formed 4-member mediation panel, citing that he would not take any position to compromise the interest of farmers of the nation. Singhu border, which is the epicenter of farmer protests, has turned into a mini town. The protest site now has a makeshift multi-specialty hospital to treat the ailing as well as a library. Ashutosh Mishra gets you this report.
Tents, kitchen, laundry services. Now a makeshift multi-speciality hospital is the new addition at the Singhu border, the epicenter of protests against the 3 new farm laws. With 8 beds, modern equipment and emergency facilities, this medical center will attend to the needs of farmers who have been braving the cold out in the open for nearly 2 months.
Right now I'm inside Kisan Mazdoor Ekta Hospital, and how this makeshift hospital located at Delhi Singhu border looks like. Well, this 8-bed hospital is not less than any super specialty hospital. But there you can see oxygen cylinders with these monitoring machines. And as we know, the doctors have already said there are multiple patients of BP, sugar and other. Here are the ECG machines, the BP machines. These high-tech machines are here. From physiotherapists to paramedic staff and senior doctors, all are available here for these farmers, including the stock of medicines for life-saving drugs to anything that the food farmers would need in this temperature, at chilling temperature in the national capital, as the farmers have been fighting here for more than 1.5 months. Here the senior doctors who are diagnosing the patients from women to senior citizens and young men. Well, these camps have been set up by farmers and several other NGOs to help them out.
Most of the patients who come to this hospital are ill due to the extreme weather conditions.
कितने बेड अस्पताल हैं यहाँ पे और क्या-क्या सुविधाएं मिल रही हैं?
यहाँ पे 8 बेड है हॉस्पिटल में और मेडिसिन का भी है, लैब का भी है, ब्लड टेस्ट होते हैं, सीबीसी, एलएफटी, केएफटी, लीवर, किडनी और थायराइड
ब्लड टेस्ट वगैरह सब कुछ होता है?
जी सर।
The service is completely free of cost.
कितने दिन से आप सेवा कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे?
मेरे को 7 दिन हो गए।
अच्छा, तो इस अस्पताल में क्या-क्या सुविधाएं मिल रही हैं किसानों को या बाकी लोगों को?
सभी हर तरह की इमरजेंसी हम एंटरटेन करते हैं, जितने भी इमरजेंसीज हैं फर्स्ट एड हम पूरा देते हैं।
पैसा भी देना पड़ता है किसानों को इसके लिए?
नहीं, फ्री।
Supporters of the protests have also opened a library with over 1900 books.
यहाँ का नौजवान है वो नशेड़ी है, यहाँ का नौजवान है उसको पढ़ना नहीं आता, तो उसी के संदर्भ में हम ये संदेश देना चाहते थे कि जो पंजाब है वहाँ अब यहाँ पे नौजवान आए हैं, वो कहाँ से आए हैं, वो क्या नशेड़ी हैं? तो हम ये संदेश देना चाहते थे कि पंजाब है जो वो उड़ता पंजाब नहीं है, पढ़ता पंजाब है। क्योंकि आप देख सकते हो 1900 से प्लस किताबें हमारी अभी ट्रॉलीज में पढ़ने के लिए लेके जा चुके हैं। जो नौजवान है ज्यादातर उसमें नौजवान ही है।
तो यहाँ पर मतलब एक तो एजुटेशन है, ऊपर से फिर ये जो लाइब्रेरी बनाई, ये थीम आपको कैसी लगती है, क्या कहेंगे इसके बारे में?
बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि जो उन्होंने एक अपना आपका जो टाइम स्पेंड करना है उसके अंदर ये पढ़ेंगे तो हमारे इतिहास के बारे में और अच्छा लगेगा उनको। जैसे इस टाइम जो है वो सब कास्ट के यहाँ पर आए हुए हैं, तो ये बहुत अच्छी बात है कि उनको एक हमारे इतिहास के बारे में पता लगेगा कि हमने जो भी शहादतें दी हैं वो हमेशा एक देश के लिए दी हैं, ना कि अपनी पर्टिकुलर कोई अपने पर्सनल के लिए दी हैं।
Food, water and shelter is essential for survival of any human being. But when it comes to agitation like farmers, and that too for more than 1.5 months at Delhi's several borders, including Singhu, this goes beyond the basics. Well, they are armed with their intellectuality, with clear agenda, and this fight is not without the awareness, and that's why this Jangi library playing a critical, crucial, significant role at Delhi's Singhu border for creating awareness among its people. At Singhu border with Nasir, this is Ashutosh Mishra reporting for India Today.
A day ahead of the mega nationwide vaccine rollout, preparations for a smooth rollout are in full swing. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be launching the Pan-India drive, the COVID-19 vaccination drive tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. He'll also be launching the COVID app. Over 3,000 sites across all states and union territories will be virtually connected. Around 100 beneficiaries will be vaccinated at each site on the first day. 45 medical professionals and scientists have slammed critics of India's approval process for 2 COVID-19 vaccines, saying that such remarks cast aspersions on the honest efforts of scientists. They also hailed the vaccines as a gift to humanity. Now, adequate doses of both Covishield as well as Covaxin have already been delivered across the country. Let's move on to some other stories we're tracking this morning. Here's some news coming in from Tamil Nadu, where RSS ideologue S. Gurumurthy stoked a controversy while speaking at Tamil magazine Tughlaq's anniversary event in Chennai. While batting for an alliance with Sashikala camp, Gurumurthy stated that when the house is on fire, one should douse it using even sewage water instead of waiting for Gangajal. The comments are politically significant because they come just months ahead of the assembly elections in Tamil Nadu. There's also a lot of controversy over Gurumurthy's analogy referring to Sashikala as sewage water. Meanwhile, BJP's ally in Tamil Nadu, AIADMK, is clearly turned soft on Sashikala ahead of her release from prison. Former AIADMK minister and senior AIADMK leader Gokula Indra said that Sashikala is a saint, saying she still garners respect. Sashikala, who is in Bengaluru's Parapana Agrahara prison in a disproportionate assets case, is expected to be released later this month.
யாரை வைத்து திமுகவை விலக்குவது என்பதற்கு அருண் ஷோரி அன்றைக்கு கூறிய பதில் தான் இப்போ நான் கூறப்போகிறேன். அது என்ன பதில் என்றால், வீடு பற்றி எரிகிறது, கங்கை ஜலத்துக்கு நாம் காத்திருக்க முடியாது, சாக்கடை ஜலத்தையும் வாரி வீசுவோம் என்று கூறினார். அதே போல தான் அது சசிகலாவாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, யாராக இருந்தாலும் சரி, ஒரு அணி என்று திரளும் பொழுது கங்கை ஜலத்துக்கு மாத்திரம் நாம் காத்திருக்க முடியாது, எல்லா ஜலத்தையுமே ஏற்றுக்கொள்ள வேண்டி இருக்கலாம் என்று தான் தோன்றுகிறது.
Politics has erupted over Rahul Gandhi's visit to Madurai yesterday when he attended the bull taming sport of Jallikattu. Rahul hailed the Tamil culture, said it was his duty to protect Tamil language and history. BJP came out to mock the Congress MP, saying he sounded more like a tourist on a Tamil Nadu trip. BJP chief JP Nadu, meanwhile, also took part in Pongal celebrations in the state. Here are all the details.
The Pongal Day Mega Bull Run. Jallikattu reflecting Tamil Nadu's rich culture and heritage. The COVID curtailed event this time had a special guest. Rahul Gandhi, recently back from his Italian vacation, landed up in Madurai with DMK's Udayanidhi Stalin to witness Jallikattu. The Congress MP had a political message, with his party and DMK locked in a direct fight with BJP and AIADMK combined in coming polls.
They believe that they can suppress the emotions of the Tamil people. They believe they can crush the language of the Tamil people. They believe that they can suppress the spirit of the Tamil people. I came to give them a message that nobody is going to suppress the Tamil spirit.
BJP, which had cleared Jallikattu after bans imposed by UPA government and Supreme Court, hit out at Rahul, reminding him past Congress jibes, calling Jallikattu a barbaric blood sport.
For me, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is an MP from a neighboring state. So we see a lot of MPs coming into Tamil Nadu. My only hope and prayer is he understands the gravity of the Jallikattu, the sport, and probably he doesn't try and mislead the people of Tamil Nadu what his party has done. So before the elections, we normally see this kind of photo opportunities.
Pongal festivities just months ahead of Tamil Nadu polls have turned the state into a stage for politics. BJP chief JP Nadu also participated in Pongal celebrations in Chennai and hailed the Tamil culture.
It is a land where I bow before the saints and sagas who have contributed to the humanity. And Tamil Nadu has got that rich culture and the contribution which it has done to the people of the country. It is the world's oldest language.
From state level to national level leaders, political parties are fielding big wigs with an eye on assembly elections. But will this resonate with the people? With Gopi Krishnan Unnithan in Madurai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Over to the latest updates from poll-bound Bengal, where the battle is intensifying after BJP's Bengal in charge, Kailash Vijayvargiya, made a rather stunning claim. Vijayvargiya says that he's in touch with 41 TMC MLAs who are ready to join the BJP. He said that if these legislators defect, Mamata Banerjee government will collapse. Vijayvargiya added that the party is considering the list of TMC MLAs and will not induct leaders who do not have a good image. Remember that Mamata Banerjee's TMC has been hit really by a series of rebellions and defections in recent times. The BJP has been relentlessly attacking the Mamata government in the run-up to the upcoming assembly polls.
मेरे पास 41 विधायकों की सूची है जो बीजेपी में आना चाहते हैं। यदि वो 41 विधायक को मैं ले लूं तो सरकार गिर जाए, पर हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि किसको लेना और किसको नहीं लेना। यदि छवि खराब है किसी की तो हम नहीं लेंगे उसको, ये हमने सोचा है। तो क्योंकि सबको लग रहा है कि ममता जी की सरकार जा रही है और मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार आ रही है।
Over to a special report. India Today's special investigation team has unearthed an underground market of fake number plates. Here are the details.
No customization. Car users risk a fine above 5,000 rupees for not using the standard high-security registration plates on vehicles sold before April of 2019 in the national capital. But an India Today investigation has found an underground market of counterfeit high-security registration plates in Delhi.
ये कितने की है? 700 रुपए की। 700 रुपए बहुत ज़्यादा बता रहे हो। देख लो 20 गाड़ियों की बनी है। हाँ जी।
At Delhi's Karol Bagh, Anil confessed that he's doing brisk business of fake registration plates these days.
वो हम तो ये अपनी आली बना रहे हैं जी। हाँ। अच्छा ये है वो। ये कितने की है? 700 रुपए की। ये रेडियम लेटर है सर, उतरेंगे नहीं है। अच्छा इसमें इंडिया लिखा हुआ है वाली में तो। हाँ देखो ना लेटर जैसे कंपनी का आते हैं। हाँ बिल्कुल कंपनी वाली लग रही है तो बना रहे सर, मैं तो अभी 4 गाड़ी बना के दिए मैं परसों मैंने। तो सर ये भी कॉपी है। ये भी कॉपी है ज़्यादा। ये बाहर से बन के आती है ये हमने बनाते हैं ये। अच्छा ये बाहर से बन के आती है। ये आपको कवर के साथ पड़ेगी सर 700 रुपए की। ये सर रोनी से बन के आएगी। बताओ 20 गाड़ियों की ट्रांसपोर्ट उसकी है, टैक्सी की है। पीली बनेगी पीली। सर ये तो कोई जैसे प्लेट है ना पीली, ये होगी प्लेट आपकी। नहीं वो दिखाओ ना वो जिसमें इंडिया लिखा हुआ है। नहीं ये तो पुरानी प्लेट है। फिर डाई मार दूंगा फिर मैं। इसमें डाई लग जाएगी। हाँ जी। डाई कैसे लगती है मतलब? तो डाई लगती है ना ये। मैं समझा नहीं डाई कैसे लगती है। ये आप देखो ना, आपने देखो ना, ये डाई तो लगी हुई है। ये देखो। अच्छा ये डाई लगती है।
A genuine HSRP carries a chromium-based hologram of the Ashoka Chakra, a 10-digit laser-branded permanent identification number, and is linked electronically to the vehicle. Tamper-resistant, the HSRPSs come with a non-removable snap-on lock, which makes them difficult to replace. Recorded in a centralized database, these high-security number plates help identify stolen vehicles. But jugaad mechanics like Mehrab, just few yards away from the local police station at Delhi's Kashmiri Gate, might be aiding criminals through custom-made false HSRPS for private as well as commercial vehicles.
तुम वो उसके बना दोगे कमर्शियल की? हाँ कोई सी वाला है? 20 गाड़ियों की बननी है बताओ। बना देंगे। कैसे बताओ? सब कमर्शियल है। हाँ सब कमर्शियल है ना, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन। फ्रेम बनाना, मेरा फ्रेम करवाना। कवर भी आता, कवर भी लगाना। हाँ फ्रेम के साथ 600 रुपये पड़ेगी गाड़ी की। 600 रुपये की। भाई मेरे पास लगी है गाड़ी। आप कहीं भी जाओ मार्केट में आएगा मेरे पास बंदा लेकर के। तो कितनी देर में बना दोगे भाई? सारी की सारी।
At Delhi's Kashmiri Gate market, Sunny offered a cloned registration plate for just 800 rupees. He guaranteed police would not be able to spot the fake.
नंबर प्लेट बनाते हो क्या? जी सर। वो हाई सिक्योरिटी वाली तो बन गई ना, उसकी कॉपी बन गई है।
कॉफी का क्या होता है?
उसी की जैसी होती है, वो कॉफी होती है।
वो चल जाती है?
हाँ चलती है, बंदे बन जाती है। टाइम में 800 रुपये की बनेगी जोड़ा।
तो ऐसा तो नहीं पुलिस वाले पकड़े?
नहीं ऐसा बन गया, बंदे वो भी बनवा के ले आते हैं, हम सब बहुत बनवाते हैं, क्योंकि अब सिंपल प्लेट है तो बंद हो गई, हमारे काम ठप हो गया, बंदे वही बनवा के ले आ रहे हैं हमसे।
Cloned HSRPSs roll by. A challenge in crime prevention when vehicles with fake license plates or bearing the identity of someone else's cars go unchecked on the streets. With Nitin Jain for India Today's special investigation team.
A big privacy debate has been raging since WhatsApp introduced its new policy. Several users have chosen now to ditch WhatsApp and switch to alternate apps. And while WhatsApp claims that your private data is absolutely safe, India Today's learned that WhatsApp has different privacy terms for the European Union and then for India. While users in EU can reject and erase data authorization, in India, this option is simply not available. You have no choice but to accept WhatsApp's new privacy rules.
WhatsApp triggers privacy scare in India. WhatsApp's separate privacy policies for Europe and India. Are Indian users' data compromised? Come February 8th, WhatsApp users in India will have no other option than sharing data with Facebook and other group platforms. But the social messaging platform has different yardstick for Europe. WhatsApp Europe's Director of Policy, Niam Sweeney, says there are no changes to WhatsApp's data sharing practices in Europe. It remains the case that WhatsApp does not share user data with Facebook. Why this double standard by WhatsApp on data protection?
To understand how GDPR protects the right of EU citizens, we need to understand that GDPR has a lot of provisions, which includes right to erasure of data, right to portability, right to deletion of the data, etc. Whereas when we talk about this in Indian context, we don't have any similar rights. Though these provisions have been imbibed in the data protection legislation, they're still absent.
There is a stark difference between data protection laws in Europe and India. The General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR in Europe, is a well-defined law which allows businesses to only collect essential information. But in India, current laws under Section 43(8) of IT Act lack clarity and enforcement mechanism.
As of now, we do not have any specific legislation governing data protection. What we have is a piecemeal legislation in form of Information Technology Act. Way forward definitely would be coming up with a very robust data protection legislation and an equally effective data protection authority.
As per the GDPR, those found guilty of data breach face penalty of 20 million euros or 4% of annual global turnover of the company. But in India, a user has to prove that his or her data has been collected without permission. In 2017, Facebook was fined 110 million euros by the European Commission for misleading it about 2014 takeover of WhatsApp. This after the panel found that the Facebook staff were aware about the possibility of linking WhatsApp phone numbers with Facebook users' identities. In 2019, the centre introduced the Personal Data Protection Bill in Parliament.
Bill to provide for protection of the privacy of individuals relating to their personal data, specify the flow and uses of personal data, create relations of trust between persons and entities.
The bill is still pending before the Joint Parliamentary Panel. With Ankit Kumar, Bureau Report, India Today.
India have started strongly in the GABA test after being put into field by Australia. The hosts have lost both their openers cheaply. Mohammad Siraj dismissed David Warner, with Rohit Sharma taking a sharp catch at second slip. Shardul Thakur then provided the second breakthrough for India. The speedster struck with his first delivery to send Marcus Harris packing. India are without Jasprit Bumrah and Ravi Ashwin. Natarajan and Washington Sundar are making their debut in the fourth and final test. The four-match series is locked at 1-1.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.